All right, today Dave Ramsey's out of the hot seat, and I want to talk about this guy, Caleb Hammer. I came across his platform and his videos from someone who sent a coaching video my way, and I had a very visceral experience to it. I want to share some of my reactions to his videos and talk about, as a money coach, what I would do differently, how I would coach through this differently. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think a lot of what's happening here is that he's giving dangerous advice. Caleb Hammer is new on the scene when it comes to personal financial advice. This is actually the case for a lot of finfluencers on TikTok, people on different channels who are sharing their opinions about money, but he has actually no financial background. He has a personal experience when it comes to being in debt, getting out of debt. A lot of people who are in the coaching space, that's what inspired them to get into the industry. But looking over his background, he's a digital marketer. There's no financial background. There's no coaching background. There's no coaching certifications. I want to make a clear distinction here between what entertainment is versus what real education and coaching is. This guy is not a coach. He's here to entertain. If you look at his platform, there's a lot of digital marketing, digital advertising going on. Hey, you know what, Caleb? Good for you. Build a platform, have millions of followers. I hope to be there too someday. But the difference is there's coaching and there's people who are trained to be able to coach you. And then there's just entertainment, like I said, and I believe that this guy is solely out for entertainment purposes. So what I'm gonna do in this video is watch a couple of his TikToks and give you my perspective as a coach, what I would do in this circumstance. Let's get going. So the first video we're gonna watch is from his TikTok channel, and he's giving advice to a woman who has some student loan debt. We're just gonna start from the beginning, and we'll go from there.
Amazon, Chipotle, Spotify don't need to listen to ads, even at the discounted student rate when we are in debt.
Okay, so this is something that I see all the time. I've seen it on some Netflix shows when it comes to personal finances too. The very first thing that this expert does is start digging into their different transactions and the different things that they're spending money on. And immediately what it's doing is creating shame around the choices that they're making. I think that's a huge red flag when it comes to personal finance, because I'm not here to shame anyone for the choices that they're making. And at the end of the day, I don't think anybody has any room to be shaming anyone. And I think that's a dangerous, slippery slope to go by, and also shows the distinction between a trained professional, a trained coach, and someone who's just out to get some clicks.
You can't afford that.
What, Spotify?
Yeah, dude. What do you mean?
It's $10 a month. It's really all right.
You know what's not all right?
What?
$75,000 of student loan debt.
I understand that.
A lot of people have student loan debt. And without knowing her whole story, I don't even know her personal financial situation. I don't know how much money she's making. But here's the thing. Most people go into student loan debt to get great careers created, to create and generate income. So what are we talking about?
Should I save the $120 a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you scrape together 120 a year here, 120 a year
I
here,
understand
120 a year here, it's the small things that usually...
I understand that.
Yeah. It's typically the small things that hurt Americans' finances.
But I want to, enjoy my life.
Aren't you delaying more than anything, though?
What are we delaying? First of all, we're talking about $120 a year. He's not really coaching her in this moment because she keeps saying, I understand. She gets the math. So if she's coming here for help, he's not helping at all. He's really just saying, well, you're an idiot. And these little things add up. And truthfully, it's not the little things that add up over time. I've done videos about this before, about subscriptions and the little things that add up over time, which is why a lot of financial gurus like Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman have really gotten a backlash by a lot of millennials, because they're saying, don't buy coffee, don't buy avocado toast. Well, maybe 30, 40 years ago, $10 could have made a huge impact, but it's really not the little things that are hurting you financially. It's overall not having a vision, not having clear goals. And for most women, it's under earning. That's the biggest problem. With where we're at in America today, mortgages and rents are upwards of 50 to 60% of our income. That's the biggest problem. So we're nitpicking little things, which I think overall in the big picture of your finances are pretty insignificant. I have a totally different take on this, which I'll share with you after the video.
Bro, delaying actually taking control of our finances and being mature.
No. Hang on. So I need you to stop using the word mature.
Why?
This is very upsetting. I'm not immature. We just view things differently than you.
Whoa. There's immature financial behavior. That does not mean you as a whole person is immature.
But I don't...
She's not immature. And choosing to spend $10 a month on Spotify so that she can wake up and enjoy her life is not an immature decision. What he's trying to equate is that she's making these little immature decisions, which is why she's in debt. But in this snippet, she's in debt because she chose to get an education. That's a totally different kind of conversation than being immature and overspending on, a $5,000 handbag. Very different here.
No, I don't disagree with you about taking control of things. I just disagree about like how the Spotify charge fits into that. It's just not.
So you don't agree with the death by 1,000 cuts?
So Spotify is something that I have in my budget that gives me a lot of room.
Then your budget's incorrect.
No, but I spend outside of the budget sometimes. That's the problem, is the spending out of the budget.
What'd you come here for?
What do you mean?
Do you want my take?
This is not coaching. I'm the authority. I know what I'm talking about, and you don't, and you need to listen to me. This is a toxic financial conversation that is happening all over the place right now, and it's not helping people. One of my clients actually watched this Caleb Hammer video, and she sent it to me, and she said, "This makes me sick to my stomach." And I said, I agree. I watched other videos from Dave Ramsey that are similar in nature and other financial experts that are similar in nature. Just be mindful as you're consuming this content, who you're consuming it from and for what purpose. Maybe you're getting a laugh out of this. I can see a lot of comments. It's very hateful, it's very hurtful, and it's not helping. Coaching sounds a lot like this. So this woman is basically saying, I need help with this overspending. Spotify is not my issue. I am spending outside of my budget. I need help with that. My coaching hat would come on and go, okay, so help me understand what the overspending really is. And what do you mean by overspending? So if Spotify isn't the issue, which in her head, it is not, why would I keep trying to come back around to prove myself right? A good coach would never do that. They would just keep leaning in and ask questions about what's really going on with the spending, because there is a motivation, a value, something behind that. I'm going to guess with this woman, without even knowing her, is that she wants to enjoy her life and not beat herself up over the student loan debt that she has. And that's exactly the conversation that I would be having with her that would sound and look different than this conversation with Caleb.
There's the people out there that's like, don't ever go get Starbucks, you're ruining your entire future. That's not me. I'm not that. But I'm like, we do that stuff when we're out of debt and we have a fully funded emergency fund.
So you can't get Starbucks when you're fully funded in your retirement and you don't have any debt. So basically, Starbucks will no longer exist as a company because most Americans are in debt. I mean, it's kind of ludicrous, right?
It's just an example of one of the many things that have been added up that we went over.
Yeah, I just don't consider it in that category, that's all. The other things, sure.
How do you not?
I just don't.
But go on, as of why?
I feel like I already explained that.
No, you haven't explained by why Spotify itself is some special entity.
I use it all the time.
This is a classic case of I'm right and you're wrong. That is not expertise. That is not coaching. That is dangerous when someone says, hey, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm actually going to ignore the conversation and the question that you have to begin with because I just want to create content that people are going to watch. It's dangerous. It's not okay. And again, I don't know, Caleb, but I would say that overall, when you're watching these kinds of videos, the whole purpose of them is to get an emotional reaction out of you and for people to start shit talking and shaming, which is exactly what they're doing in this video. This is exactly the reason that I started my company and my brand, and I have this channel, because that is not helping anyone. When it comes to spending, there are some psychological reasons behind the decisions that we make for the things that we want in our life. And it's leaning into that, which I have on my channel. Please watch my videos. Please come back, like, subscribe, follow me if you want to have an actual thoughtful, purposeful, intentional, and healing conversation when it comes to money. I hope this video has been valuable for you today. I hope you learned something. I'd love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are about this video and what your thoughts are about personal finance. I'm going to give a lot more information as I continue to grow this channel about what I think you can do. I have some great courses, some great content, and some great tools for you to learn how to take control of your finances today. Stick with me. I'll show you a different way.